Kirk Jensen here, who's unrepresented. Mr. Jensen, would you come up and have a seat? Josh, you kind of inherited this. Mr. Jensen was originally charged with traffic violations. The matter was set for a jury trial for August 16th, I believe it was. We had summoned jurors and we were ready to proceed. Earlier that week, I believe August 14th, Mr. Marvin filed a felony complaint based on the same set of facts. So the matter was set for a pre-exam conference. Mr. Jensen has made every court hearing, but he did express that he wants to represent himself. I offered to appoint counsel at each stage of the misdemeanor proceedings, and again in this case, but
tension right from the start. The judge is practically begging Jensen to take a lawyer. It's one of those moments where you realize, this man truly thinks he can outsmart the system, alone. And not in a clever, I know my rights, way. In a, I don't recognize your system, kind of way.
But he declined. So, Mr. Jensen, you still wish to represent yourself in this matter?
I wish to have this case completely dismissed.
Well, everybody feels that way. Everybody else who wants their case dismissed, raise your right hand. Yeah, that's unanimous. So that's not up to me. But the question is, I'm willing to appoint counsel for you, but you've represented to me at each stage you wish to represent yourself.
I do not wish to have any counsel.
All right. Well, then let's talk about where we are. Where's the complaint? The complaint alleges that on or about April 6th in Lockport Township that you did obstruct justice by preferring a counterfeit U.S. passport and counterfeit international driver's license at the time of a lawful traffic stop, an attempt to avoid criminal liability for driving without a license. The way that is charged, it is a felony punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $10,000. The second count is possession of a reproduced, altered, counterfeit, or forged chauffeur's license, operator's or chauffeur's license. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $2,000. Count 3 alleges.
We're talking felony obstruction of justice and forged government documents. Yet Jensen stands there calm, unmoved, almost smug. It's wild, he's facing prison time, but he's arguing ideology. It's not even about guilt anymore, it's about belief.
Actions here or a plea offer? Or...
So the offer would be if the defendant wanted to plead to count 3, operating with no license. It's the 90-day misdemeanor. We would recommend fines and costs.
I object to that, and I will not consent to that either.
All right, let me unpack that a little bit. All right, you're charged with a felony, and you're charged with possession of a false or forged counterfeit license. You're also charged with no proof of insurance. The prosecutor would dismiss all of those charges if you plead to no valid operator's license with a fine and cost. You may be the first person in my 21-year career that objects to having all the felony charges dismissed for a plea to a $200 fine. Nonetheless, you object.
I object to the fact that it's been labeled as counterfeit.
All right, well, they're just willing to dismiss that charge. The allegation in count 3 is that you were operating a vehicle on a...
This part honestly stunned me. The prosecutor is offering a lifeline, drop everything if he just pleads to a minor traffic charge. Any lawyer would jump at that deal. But Jensen? He flat out refuses. And that's when you realize, this isn't about winning. It's about proving a point no one else believes in. Clip 4. You can hear the disbelief in the judge's voice. He's seen everything, every excuse, every defendant, but this is new. The humor in his tone isn't cruelty, it's exhaustion. Imagine trying to reason with someone who doesn't even believe your authority is real.
Public roadway without having a valid license, sometimes called no ops or no valid operator's license. It's under 257301 of the Michigan Traffic Code. It's punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $100. It carries 2 points and it goes on your driving record. If you plead guilty to that charge, I'm going to fine you $225. I'm going to give you time to pay it, and the matter will be done. If you don't wish to plead to that, we're going to have a preliminary examination next Wednesday, where the prosecutor will attempt to bind you over to circuit court on felony charges and continue the matter for a felony conviction with potential prison sentence. So his offer is to just be done with all of it for a plea to no valid operators. I frankly was kind of surprised by the generous offer, but that's what it is. So our options are to plead to having no valid operator's license. You can even plead no contest. You can plead no contest. You don't admit what happened, but you also don't deny what happened. You allow or accept that a conviction will enter. You and I have a fundamental disagreement about what it means to operate a vehicle or what it means to travel. But if you want this matter to be over with, you can enter a no contest plea to no valid operator's license. If you want to reap the whirlwind, we can have a preliminary examination next Tuesday afternoon.
Phrase, fundamental disagreement about what it means to travel, that's pure sovereign citizen rhetoric. It's this idea that you're not driving, you're traveling, and therefore not bound by traffic laws. Courts reject it every time, but people like Jensen cling to it like gospel.
Regarding the matter. What would you like to do, Mr. Jensen?
I don't accept any of that.
All right, the matter will be set for prelim.
And just to make it clear, this would be the third time that a charge of no operator's license has been levied against me, and I'm standing against it because those documents are valid, and I object to them being labeled as counterfeit.
We'll find out next week. So that will be Tuesday, September 5th at 1 p.m. Prelim. All right, your bond is continued. You're free to go.
And just a reminder of the civil case that is ongoing, and those who are named in that, yourself and Mr. Marvin as well. Just to make sure that
Which civil case is that?
civil case, the notices, and all the recusals and everything that's been filed into this case that I've been filing in. Just to make note of that it is, on the record.
Well, let's take a look. Oh, you filed a...
This is where it almost becomes surreal. He's filing civil cases in federal courts citing the Bible and ancient texts. The judge reads it out loud, and you can hear the quiet disbelief, Hebrew letters, Book of Nations. It's like watching law collide with delusion in real time.
But it has been filed in the federal court. All right, that's all a matter of record. It's in the file. And you've even got Hebrew letters in here. Okay, I'll see you next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Yes? Yes?
I'm Mr. Jensen's transportation.
Yes.
And on the 5th, my wife has chemo, and I have to take her to that. Is there a way that we can put it off to the following week? If that's all right with Mr. Jensen.
That would dump the matter on Judge Pattison, which I'm sure he would greatly dislike. So, I'm sorry, but we'll leave it for that date.
It would be the 6th that would work.
I'm open to any date at this point.
We schedule things at certain times and everything affects everything else.
Understand.
So no, it's next Tuesday. You could be done with this for $225. And, so we'll be next Tuesday, sworn testimony in court, regarding this matter. You wish to not have counsel, and we'll continue that. I'll make further record. At this point, I'm declining to recuse myself. This is just a straightforward matter. All right, next Tuesday, 1 o'clock. You can make your way here somehow. Do you need a bus pass? I'll give you that. All right, you're free to go.
And after all that, the judge still offers compassion, even a bus pass. It's such a human moment in the middle of chaos. But Jensen walks away convinced he's fighting the system, when really, the system is just offering him mercy. This isn't just a legal case, it's a mirror. You can see how ideology, pride, or mistrust can turn a simple traffic stop into a life-altering battle.